Welcome to Cloud Ocean. In this video, we are going to see about Amazon S3. So what is S3? Amazon S3 stands for Simple Storage Service. It's a storage service that provides an interface that you can use to storing and retrieving any amount of data at any time from anywhere in the world. This means that the data you store in the S3 bucket is not associated with any particular server, and you don't have to manage any infrastructure yourself. You can put many objects into the Amazon S3 bucket as you want. Amazon holds trillions of objects and regularly peaks at millions of requests per second. Objects can be almost any data file such as images, videos, or any server logs. Amazon S3 also provides a low latency access to the data over the internet via HTTP or HTTPS so that you can retrieve the data at any time from anywhere. You can control over who can access your data using the identity access management policies and S3 bucket policies and even per object access control list. By default, none of your data is shared publicly. If you want to make it publicly, you can modify that. You can also encrypt your data in transit and choose to enable server-side encryption on your objects. With S3, you pay only for what you use, and the payment model is pay as you go pricing model. So these are the three types of access the data from the S3. The first one is through the AWS Management Console, and the second one is through the AWS CLI, and the third one is AWS SDK. So in this video, we are going to see about these are all the things, how to create a bucket and how to upload the files into the S3 bucket, and how to view, how to set the permission, how to delete the file, and how to delete the buckets. These are all the things we are going to see in this video. Before that, I will just give basic details about the S3. In S3, these are all the storage classes which we have. The first one is standard frequently accessed, and second one is standard infrequently accessed. Third one is RRS, that means reduced redundancy storage, and the fourth one is Glacier. Standard frequently accessed, that means it is a default storage classes in S3 bucket. When you upload any data into S3, the data will be stored by default in standard frequently accessed class. Okay, it gives 99.11 times 9 percentage durability and availability. It is very high price compared to others. And the second one is standard infrequently accessed. So it gives 99.99 percentage durability and availability. We will not use this class type in all time. Sometime when the data is necessary, so on those situations we can use this. Example, for editing purpose, monitoring, or these all the purpose. And the third one is RRS, reduced redundancy storage. It gives 99% durability and it is very low price. But the disadvantage is if the hard disk is get fails, we can't sure about the data. Then the fourth one is Glacier. It is a backup or archival tool that is used to back up your data in S3. It is very cheapest. So we can store our old data and old logs here. To retrieve the data which is stored in Glacier, it will take up to 4 to 5 hours. So in S3, how we can secure our S3 bucket? Okay, there are two ways. The first one is ACL access control list, and the second one is bucket policies. So these are all the activities that we can perform in the S3 bucket. Okay, so logging, events, versioning, lifecycle, cross-region replication, these are the things we can perform. Okay, so in cross region replication, that means if you want to perform this cross region replication, you need to enable versioning on both source and destination bucket. That means you can keep a backup for your data. For example, uh, right now your bucket is on Mumbai region, so you want to keep and backup for your data for Singapore region. That means you have to enable version on both Mumbai region as well as Singapore region. Okay, so the source and destination bucket should be in different region. As I said, the source bucket will be in Mumbai and the destination bucket will be in Singapore. Okay, so if the versioning is enabled, then only we can recover the data. Okay, so let's see the demonstration how we can create a bucket and how we can upload files, those things. Okay, so let's see. So this is my AWS console, and if you want to go to S3 bucket, just type S3 in your dashboard, and here you will get the service. Just click on that. So as of now, I have these all the buckets in my S3. Okay, so here you can see the bucket name and the access type, whether you have set your public access or not. So if you set public, here it will show as a public. Okay, and next one is you can see the region for your bucket. Okay, and here the date created for your bucket. These are the details you can get in the dashboard of your S3. Okay, so let's create a new bucket. Okay, the bucket name is unique, so you cannot repeatedly enter your bucket name. Okay, so let me enter my bucket name as demo. See, bucket name must not contain uppercase characters. Okay, okay. So I have given the bucket name as demo 31st May. Okay, so here you can choose your region. Okay, so I keep it as North Virginia only. Okay, so the next, so and here as I said, if you want to data replication, you have to enable versioning, but as of now I leave it blank. Later I will enable it. Okay, so if you want to give key and value, you can give it. Okay, and object level tagging, default encryption, or whatever options if you want you can select, but as of now I leave it blank. Okay, so in this configure option, if you want to set your bucket for public, otherwise if you don't want the public access, this option you can choose it from here itself. So as of now I block all public access. Okay, this is a review page. You can review all your settings, and finally you can create bucket. Okay, now my bucket has been created. So here you can see the bucket name demo 31st May. Okay, and access type, I have as of now I have not enabled the public access. Okay, so the bucket and objects not public. Okay, the region detail, it is in North Virginia. and the date created May 31st. Okay, so let me go inside the bucket. Okay, here you will get, these are all the options, overview of the bucket. As of now, the bucket is empty. I have not uploaded any files. Let me upload a file. Okay, so here you have the option upload. Just click on that, then click add files. So I'm going to add this uh, text file. Okay, so if you want to upload directly with the default setting, you can click upload. If you want to modify any settings, then click next. Okay, so click next. So here you can set the read and write permissions. Okay, so and the public access for the file, the setting you can modify it here. And as I said, the storage classes, so by default it will be stored in standard format. Okay, standard frequently accessed. And then click next, upload. So in the bottom you can see the status of your file. See, it is success. Okay, you can see the file here. Okay, now if you click the file, so in the file you can see these are the details. Okay, okay, so right now I'm inside the bucket. So in the properties tab, so as of now versioning is not enabled. Okay, so if you want to enable versioning, just click on that and choose enable versioning and save it. The next, in the permission tab, if you want to allow public access, then untick, then save and click and just type confirm. Okay, and in the access control list, just give everyone and select the access list, right? See, now this bucket has public access. So let's see. See, when I create this bucket, initially here it was showing that object cannot be public. Now once I enabled the public access, here you can see it is showing public. Okay. So again, if you want to block public access, then just go to the permission, the access control list. Again, just untick all those things. Save, and in the block, just block all the public access. See, now you can see the access type has changed. Okay, okay, so let's go to the management tab. So here you can see the life cycle options. That means, for example, when you upload your data, the data will be stored in default standard frequently accessed class type. Okay, so you can keep your data up to 30 days, on this storage class. So after 30 days, if you want to, as I said, this standard frequently accessed storage class price is very high. Okay. So later that after 30 days, if you want to move your data from standard frequently accessed to reduced redundancy data, so you can set life cycle for that. Okay. So after 30 days, the data will be moved from standard frequently accessed storage class to RRS storage class. Okay. So after that, up to 90 days, the data will be in RRS. So after 90 days, if you so if you want to move your data from RRS to Glacier, then you can set life cycle from here. That the data which is stored in RRS, that needs to be moved to Glacier. Okay. So so the data will be there in Glacier for 360 days. So after 360 days, if you want to remove your data from Glacier, if you don't want, so you can also set the rule for that. Okay. So in life cycle, these are the rules you can set. Okay. This life cycle action will perform at um, 00 UTC hours. Okay. In the next step, this replication. So as I said, cross-region replication. So here you can uh, uh, set the cross-region replication for your data backup. Okay, for that versioning should be enabled. Okay, so I have enabled the versioning. Okay, so if you want, you can set the cross-region replication from here. Okay, and let's come to the overview tab. So if you want to delete your file, just select and go to the action and delete. Okay, so now your bucket is empty. And if you want to delete your bucket, just select and delete. Here you have to enter the name of the bucket. Okay, so my bucket name is demo 31st May. Okay, just confirm and it will be deleted. Okay, so that's all about Amazon S3. If you like this video, please like and share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.